Ta-da! Here we are.
Thanks for dropping in.
This is gonna be great.
We can't go back. So all we can do is deal with this and try to make it right.
The boss won't stand for any nonsense.
The fates have sort of brought us together.
It's coffee time! Coffee!
Have fun.
Surely you can't be serious.
Everyone needs to buckle up.
So you're crazy. That's the way I want you. That's the way I love you.
When you hear the sound of fun, don't you get too scared.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to NSS. This is the Reynolds Report. Well, it seems Harrison Ford has some free time on his hands now that Indiana Jones 5 has been bumped back to 2021. As a result, Harry has decided to take a role in another film, Call of the Wild. The Jack London adaptation will find Ford playing a grizzled prospector. Look for Call of the Wild in theaters sometime next summer. Have you ever watched The Wizard of Oz and thought, this could be better if it was told entirely from the perspective of Dorothy's dog Toto? Probably not. But just in case you have, well, you're in luck, because Warner Brothers is developing an animated film based on the children's book Toto, the doggone amazing story of the Wizard of Oz. Look for that to hit theaters this fall. Yesterday, Arnold Schwarzenegger slammed Donald Trump over his comments in Helsinki.
President Trump, I just saw your press conference with President Putin, and it was embarrassing. I mean, you stood there like a little wet noodle, like a little fanboy. I mean, I was asking myself, when are you going to ask him for an autograph or for a selfie or something like that? I mean, you literally sold out at this press conference our intelligence community, our justice system, and worst of all, our country. You're the president of the United States. You shouldn't do that. I mean, what's the matter with you? I mean, whatever happened to the strong words or to the strength of Ronald Reagan when he stood there at the Berlin Wall and he said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall? What happened to all that?
It's time for Things I've Learned from Seinfeld.
Now, I was thinking the other day about hair, and that the weird thing about it is that people will touch other people's hair. You will actually kiss another human being right on the head. But if one of those hairs should somehow be able to get out of that skull and go off on its own, it is now the vilest, most disgusting thing that you can encounter. The same hair. People freak out there was a hair in the egg salad.
That's it for Things I've Learned from Seinfeld.
President Trump said Russia should not be punished for seizing parts of the Ukraine because they speak Russian there, which explains why today Mexico announced plans to take back California. Yes, it seems that the orange man that lives in the White House is making everyone yell at each other today. Some are referring to this as being the weakest moment in the history of the American presidency, until, of course, whatever Trump decides to do tomorrow. Everyone is comparing the Trump presidency to idiocracy, but I think it's more like Office Space. You know, it's the story of a guy who does everything to get fired, but somehow keeps his job. Then he steals from the company, and it ends with everything burning to the ground. Meanwhile, Vladimir Putin is complaining of sore ribs after meeting Trump in Helsinki. Doctors say that the soreness will ease once Putin stops laughing so hard. MGM Resorts is suing the victims of the Las Vegas mass shooting. I wonder what's the over-under on the MGM executives going to hell. Lava flowing from Hawaii's Kilauea volcano has produced a new tiny island, and there's already a Starbucks there. Have you seen that video from Arizona of a roadrunner and a coyote coming face to face? To make the nostalgic moment even better, the encounter happened right outside the Acme manufacturing plant. Adidas announced that by 2024, its products will only use recycled plastics as opposed to what the industry calls virgin plastics. So you'll be able to purchase shoes to wear around the block that have actually already been around the block. A woman in London called the police to report a burglar downstairs in her house. Instead of the typical suspect, police found a squirrel that was making all the noise. In fact, it was trying to get a big screen TV out the window. The U.S. Air Force confirmed that it paid $30,000 for 3 toilet seat covers. In their defense, they were stealth toilet seat covers, so the enemy radar can't detect that you've eaten bad seafood. Time for Nobody Missouri has raised its minimum age for marriage from 15 to 16. Because, 16-year-olds have seen a few things in life that someone who's 15 years and 11 months can only imagine about. Hey, backwards-ass states. Nobody gives a Archaeologists say they found the oldest bread known to man at a prehistoric site in the desert. It was apparently wrapped around a 7-Eleven hot dog. Hey, stale bread. Nobody gives a fuck. And new research shows that horses snort more often when they're happy. Of course, it all depends on what they're snorting. Hey, horse doctors. Nobody gives a Thanks, everybody. We have a new episode of the Reynolds Report for you every weekday. Be sure to check out NSS Live, starring Frank D'Angelo, Tuesdays and Thursdays for NSS Live.